Hey all, Paint Marine here with I guess the final quarter of the Forged in Plastic contest. I had mentioned in my status report and kind of talked a little bit on that, how it's really interesting to see as the factions went down, how kind of the entrance got lower and lower, and it's pretty indicative of those factions. Like Space Marines was the first quarter, and we had tons of entries because most people play Space Marines. And Chaos Space Marines is probably the second largest armies. Then we had the Xenos Group 1 and then Xenos Group 2, which was, like I said, even less entries, to where we only ended up with a final 2. And that made it actually quite a bit harder one, trying to narrow it down from the small entries, and then again having only 2 entrants that were very good. It's always a hard thing. So like I said, I use some outside judging to share their thoughts and everything, and then we go from there. So I'll go in with the intro here, and we'll show you the initial entries that the 2 finalists got or had, and then we'll move into the final judging, or the results of the final judging. So, and I'll show you each one of them, and then at the end show you the final winner. Now again, it was super close. Again, I feel like it just, every time the sliver, the margin of how close it was, gets tighter and tighter. So yeah, it was really tight again. And the theme at the end of this one was actually a duo, because there was such few entrants. And then the final 2, one had more of a Tau themed one, and the other had an Eldar, more Eldar themed one. The thought was to kind of try to level the playing field as much as possible and bring it together and make it kind of a duo, like an odd person team up. So that way, if one person had more Tau bits and one person had more Dark Eldar, or not Dark Eldar, Eldar in general bits, then it could kind of like, okay, well, you're not making a Tau model, and so this person who already has a bunch of Tau stuff, and this person who doesn't have any, now has to like try to source a bunch of pieces and stuff. So we went this route with doing this like odd person team up. So the idea was a Tau and Eldar, and it could be any kind of Eldar. It didn't need to just be like Eldar. It could be a Dark Eldar or Harlequins or whatever. But basically they had to team up for some reason. We don't really know. This isn't like a contest to have a huge backstory by any means. But that was the idea. And now they could be on the same base. It could be separate bases. It didn't need to be like a diorama scene or anything. It could just be its own thing. It was really up to the participants. So yeah, so then after that, I guess I've mentioned it in the stats report if you saw that. I guess I'll quick mention it now, and then I'll kind of go over it again at the end. But the final, I guess, end of the year closeout final grand championship will be a contest between the final 4, each of the champions that won each quarter. So each of those 4 will be invited back to participate with the final challenge of creating a lost Primarch. Now we know that there's 2 that have been lost. We don't know what happened to them at all, and this is their chance to create what they think the lost Primarch is. And again, I mentioned it could be a loyalist Primarch. It could, maybe it's a fallen Chaos Primarch that comes back, or kind of neither one. It could be like a renegade Primarch, or just a Primarch that never got found, maybe. And yeah, and kind of go from there. So I'll go more into kind of the parameters there. Again, it's just a conversion, no painting or anything necessary. But yeah, we'll get more into kind of the details there as well at the end of the video. I'll be previewing the prize that will be going along with it. Again, they'll win a $100 US equivalent gift card to the Games Workshop virtual store, and then also this prize package that I've put together, which I think is pretty cool. So, alright, well, without further ado, let's take a look at the initial entries for the 2 that made it to the final round, and then we'll go over their final entries. Alright, there we have it. So, I'm just doing these, or I guess alphabetical, in alphabetical order. So this isn't any indicative of who was first or second by any means. But yeah, so we'll go into the first one here. And again, apologize if I don't pronounce the names exactly correct. I'm going to try my best. But yeah, so first up was the entry by James Dowson. And this one is very interesting. Lots of bits and pieces going on here. Definitely heavy conversion going on. And what we have here is what looks like you have your, I mean, it's definitely Eldar and Tau. I would say that this one might be the Tau still, but it's also kind of hard I mean, because obviously like the feet here are from the Van Sar kit, so you don't have the hoof piece there. So, and then I would say this one's probably more or less the Eldar. And the reason why I gravitate this more toward being the Tau is just because it's got the Tau. I think it's a Tau warrior. I'd have to see the back again. It might be a Pathfinder, but anyway, they use like the traditional kind of shape of the Tau helmet, and over here we have the Eldar helmet back here. Now, again, it's a really cool blend. They kind of decided to go with kind of a blend of Eldar and Tau armor, as we can see here. And then again, of course, they use some other bits from Van Sar. But then the weapons are actually like what all, excuse me, oh, it mostly seem to be Necron bits. Now I know these are Necron for sure. And then we have the Necron staff here. I'm not 100% sure what this, I mean, it's definitely Necron, and then I think they maybe added some stuff to it, but it's really kind of cool. It looks like kind of like a, I don't know, really like a shield or some kind of like a throwing star kind of frisbee looking thing. It's very interesting look. So not only do we have the look of like a mashup of the Eldar and Tau coming together here, but then they've also looked like they've acquired some Necron weaponry as well. So here's one of those other views, and again they've used a Necron piece here. Maybe it's like a trophy kind of thing that they do. So yeah, and then this chest piece I believe is Eldar as well. Pretty sure. But yeah, some pretty cool dynamic poses too. They're running, leaping off of something. These are interesting kind of like bladed wing things here. You got a Tau. What do they call those? The bonding knives, I believe, where they kind of bond to their group. So yeah, got a Tau pack on here. I'm not sure where these hair pieces are. They almost, I don't know if they're from the new Howling Banshees. They might be. This could be from a number of Eldar kits, but this I don't know. I think these are from the new Howling Banshees. I'm not sure though. Alright, here we have the back. Again, the hair really blocks a lot of the back view here. And that was a... Alright, so that is the first entry. So very cool, very unique for sure. So, alright, and then next up we have Morgan Wisby. And again, I believe that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I apologize if I did not say that correctly. And very interesting here. He went more for a kind of diorama kind of feel to it with both of the characters on here. Now you can see in this photo we have what appears to be the Eldar character here. And it looks like an Eldar gun of some kind there. You got some skulls, Tyranid skulls, some stuff going on. And then we have a Tau crisis suit. Crisis suit is pretty standard, pretty straightforward. He's got a marker light on his arm, and then he's got a couple of pulse carbines on his back here. There's one right there, and then there's another one kind of right there that you can see better in another picture. But yeah, so here we have, you know, I guess the dynamic duo here. Now from this angle we can see it looks, you know, here's the other pulse rifle or carbine. You know, not really sure, like, again, like, it's not really like a story-based thing, but there's, you know, you can kind of see something's going on here. Either the crisis suit is damaged in some way, and the Eldar seems to be like he's reaching out a hand to try to like help him up. I mean, he's in a crisis suit. I'm not sure how, you know, strong this Eldar is exactly, but you know, so he is, you know, kind of like either way, or he's reaching out a hand. Maybe the Tau will open up his suit here and come out, and stuff like that. Again, we have these kind of bladed wings, kind of like in the other one, which is interesting. Very, it almost puts more of a, in my mind at least, like more of a dark Eldar spin to it. I'm not sure if that's what they're going for. We have a robotic leg, which is really cool. It's looks like a Necron leg was used there, but it's very cool. Yeah, so that's a lot of work for sure. I can see done on the Eldar character. Here is the other side shot. So, and it looks like maybe this was his gun. Maybe he threw it down to, you know, put out a hand of help, and took his helmet off as well, holding his helmet there. And then again, we have the crisis suit there. And then here is the final shot. Again, you get a better view of the Eldar character reaching out for him. So, very cool. A lot of conversion, definitely mostly on this character here. You know, I guess the only kind of conversion you could say done on the crisis suit is you get the marker light on the hand here, which is not like normally where you would see that, and then you had these two carbines here. So in the traditional sense of how the crisis suit's kitted out, it's not kitted as we would see in game. It's more like he's just like a marker light suit, and then he's got these two rifles for maybe the occupant inside that if he needs to get out for some reason. So okay, so again, I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for everyone that's participated this far throughout the whole thing. And again, I don't know if this will be something I'll continue on in the future. I may be able to do it next year. There's definitely a possibility for that, because I mean, next year's gonna be a weird year for me. I have a big thing coming up for work, and again, who knows what 2021 is gonna look like. You know, with the current situation across the world, we've got vaccines kind of coming out and here and there and stuff. So hopefully things will kind of get back to a bit of normalcy. But at least for my channel and everything going forward, it's going to be really slim still next year, just because my main job is going to keep me super busy. So this may be a way that I can continue to create content and help foster some more growth and just fun within the community, which I hope has been really the main point of my channel and sharing my hobby journey and everything. So you know, depending upon what I hear, if I get any feedback from anybody, maybe continue this on into a series 2, and if there's any changes or suggestions of changes, I definitely would accept any suggestions and take a look into that and see going forward if, you know, what kind of changes to that can be made. The other thing though that's going to be kind of hard is I am going to have a little bit more limiting ability when it comes to editing and stuff my videos. Just again, it is what it is next year, so it's gonna be weird. We'll see. Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Well, this is the part I both love and hate, because again, I wish that, you know, I could just kind of like, even to those that don't get first, still give them some sort of consolation prize. But again, because I've been self-funding this, and it's been a rough year, I think, for everybody. Unfortunately, that's not something I can do. So I'm sorry for those that don't win, and like I said, like I always welcome them back to previous quarters to keep on trying if they want. And again, if Series 2 happens, you know, the next season of this, again, everyone's welcome back to participate for sure. So, I guess with all that being said, without further ado, let us get to the final. And here we are. So, congratulations to James Dowson. You have won the 4th quarter and will be invited to a chance at these kind of Grand Championship Challenge. Again, I cannot stress enough to everybody, This has been really fun. I've really enjoyed seeing everybody's work. Everybody's done amazing stuff, and just thank you for participating, and I can't wait to see, you know, where this may go in the future, and hopefully I can continue something like this. So, all right, well, let us get into, so the final grand challenge, like I said, is to create your own Primarch, one of the Lost 2. Again, it can be anything. It could be a loyalist, chaos. It could be a heavily mutated one. It could be one that was never found. It could be renegade, you know, whatever you want. And hopefully with this one, there's going to be a little bit extra where we'll want a little bit of a backstory. So you kind of know, is it a loyalist that has finally been found, or what exactly? It doesn't have to be like super in detail. I don't need anything. I would say nothing more than a paragraph of like 5 sentences at most. Really just get a little bit of a sense of what's going on. And I have the line up here just as an example. So for the base size of this, you can have up to 80mm base to give you plenty of room to do whatever you want. And then you can have a scene something like this where he's battling or whatever, or even she could be a lost female Primarch. Maybe that's what happened. Whatever it is. So you can have a battle, you can have no battle, you can have them like, you know, like Games Workshop likes to do with most of their characters, that have them standing on some sort of a big rock or something. Any of that goes. That's fine. I would say, like, don't get too crazy with the height. I don't really have a height restriction on it though. But I would just say, you know, use your best I don't know, your best judgment on that for that. But other than that, all the other same rules apply as far as it doesn't need to be painted. Prefer that you base coat in some sort of gray base coat. There's been some that ask that you could dry brush. That's fine if you want to just do like a gray and then dry brush a light gray or something over it real quick. That's fine. A zenithal is fine. Like, that's all fine, but just no actual like painting. Now you can paint it if you want, but I still need the 4 base pictures of back or front, back, left, right for the judging portion of it. And then if you want to paint, I'll include those in the final video and everything. They just won't be part of the judging. And then again, if you want to do a video of one rotation of it, you can as well. That's definitely helpful. Kind of gives more of like every little angle that you don't see in just the 4 basic ones. But again, that's not a requirement, but you can if you want. So, and the end date for this will be, it's going to be March 1st. Should give you plenty of time to get this all completed and all that said and done, and then hopefully I'll have enough time to compile the final votes and everything, because like I said, I've got a busy year already coming up this coming year, and so mid to late March I'll be kind of, I guess, incapacitated in a way for a while. So yeah, so March 1st should hopefully give me enough time to get everything done and get that up and posted, and to get the winner figured out, who the winner is, and to send their prize package and all that. So March 1st will be the deadline for that for everyone. So all right, well, again, thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate everyone that's watched, participated in Forged in Plastic, and again has just come to the channel, offered their ideas and things and stuff, because again, my own hope is to try and grow the community where I can, and to also share my own hobby, adventures, experiences as I continue on with my hobby. And again, there's going to be a lot of kind of changes, and things are probably going to slow down even more. I guess we kind of got a brief preview of what that's going to be like with this last year, where pretty much no gaming's happened, and then I've just had a lot of things with work and family kind of come up that's really kind of put a lot of my plans for this year on the back burner to not at all, which has also been kind of unfortunate, because I knew already, regardless of what happened this year, that 2021 was going to be kind of a much slower year for me due to things at my work. So that is what it is. So, but yeah, and if this is your first time here, or however you came to this video, thanks for watching. I would definitely greatly appreciate if you looked around, maybe subscribe, take a look at the other videos I have on the channel, the playlists I have set up with various things. Like I have the Paint Marines bookshelf that goes over different 40K books that I've read and suggest. And again, they're pretty heavy with spoilers, so just be wary of that. And then the Paint Marines workbench, where I go over different tips and tricks that I've had and discovered there. And again, I always like to point out the most popular one is definitely my repulsor assembly video, because there's definitely a better way to assemble that kit where you don't get the gap that happens in the front, where the side panel and the front panel meet. There's like a gap that can be created. There's a definitely better way to assemble. So yeah. And then again, check out the Facebook, my Instagram page, follow, like, all that stuff. I would greatly appreciate all that. So, and, well, thanks for watching. Until next time.